This is Old Kids on the Block. New episodes weekly. Come hang out. Welcome back to Old Kids on the Block. Another episode hosted by Mike. I just wanted to reintroduce the boys. To my left, you got...
My name is Miles. Sup?
To my right, you got...
Gabe.
And to his right.
Boy number 4.
Boy number 4. Today's episode is brought to you by Air, because that's the only sponsor we can get. It's free. Nice and fresh, right? No, but for real, my Johnny Bravo haircut brought us back to the 90s, right? We were all born in the 90s.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
92 to be exact.
Okay, so we're 90s
That's what it says on my birth certificate.
So make sure you guys stick around with us until the end of the episode. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get it started. So what is the most memorable thing in the 90s that you guys can, like, you think of 90s, it just pops up in your head?
Slime.
Hands
down. I don't know what it
Slime.
was in the 90s, but I feel like slime peaked back then. Like you were able to get like a little toy kit and everything and bring it home, make slime at home. Nickelodeon had a whole thing with it. They were just like, forget that it causes cancer later maybe, but everything slime in the 90s in my opinion.
Do you remember, it's like that neon green slime, the one that used to like spray all over the
carpets.
kids in that Nickelodeon? Yeah.
Nickelodeon.
That sentence started to go somewhere.
I was going to say, I really hope you're talking about Nickelodeon.
Do you think some guy was creating? He's like, man, I gotta make a breakthrough. I want to lose my house. And he just pours a bunch of stuff into it. He's like, honey.
I think I got it.
I got it.
I mean, that was super popular, man. It's still around in Nickelodeon today because I know like the Kid Choice Awards, they spray the kids with slime all the time. I gotta stop saying that.
Spraying that slime.
I know that they dropped the slime.
We know about
on,
your slime.
They dropped the slime on the actors and the kids, but like back in the day, like you were a G when you had that toy. You made a fart noise inside of the slime toys. You know what I'm talking about? You pushed it down.
Yeah, it was like the little fart box thing.
I never messed with slime, man. What came to my mind out of nowhere was arcade games, which is funny because the other 4 times I did this episode,
it never came up.
Oh, by the way, we're redoing this again.
Yeah, like I thought for some reason specifically when I thought of the 90s, for some reason what popped into my head was being in a laundromat with my mom and playing those freaking video games that they had in there.
Mortal Kombat,
and just like those different ones that they had, like I don't know if you guys played this one, but it was like the one that had the guns and you had to kill the clowns and stuff, and it was like
I know zombies but not clowns.
It was just one of those random ones, but I thought it was super cool.
Could we all agree we just smashed the buttons when we did arcades? We
had
didn't
no
know
idea.
combos. We just hit it
especially like Street Fighter, where you could do like combos and stuff. I never could do any of that.
Just like your first time with a girl, you just smash buttons and hope you get it right.
And just pray that you get the high score.
Feel good?
Get the high score. Something's coming out of somewhere.
Speaking of video games, 90s was the Game Boy, right? Game Boy
Color,
Color.
yeah.
Yes.
I mean, what was your favorite games for that time? I like Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong was the jam.
It was Pokemon.
Pokemon
was probably the biggest thing.
The man hours put in that game.
Well, Super Mario Brothers was a good one too.
I would say
that was a good one. That was a good one.
Very first video game to ever start me off was definitely 007 GoldenEye. I don't know, like
Nintendo 64, right?
Yeah, my brother had the
course.
Nintendo 64, and I don't think I got my Game Boy yet, but that was like one of the very first games he got and everything. And of course, I would always just do the really douchebag thing of getting Odd Job, who's like half the height of everyone. So that was like one of the few games where you had to chop as like a melee for a while. And so I would tell everyone, I'm like, yeah, pick Jaws. I'm like, he's awesome. He's like the biggest character in the game. And I would choose Odd Job, who's like now a third of Jaws' size. So whenever it came to the melee portion of the round, you just couldn't beat me.
Is that when you did multiplayer, right? Like,
yeah, there was multiplayer.
Oh, yeah.
Never played that game.
You know,
That game, dude, it was awesome. Especially when you got the golden gun.
Oh, you just one shot.
You can create the rounds, right? Like, and you go against each other, so you can get the golden gun and then like chase everybody down. It's one shot, one kill. So you kind of like have to take out the enemy before they get you. I used to beat my brothers all the time.
That was the best graphics ever. When you're a kid, you're like, wow, so realistic.
Everyone
like squares, like basically Minecraft, and we thought it was the best graphics in the world.
You're like, that's him. That is 007 right there. We peaked when it comes to like quality of video games. Like you
look at it now and you're just like, man, look what we came. But you still like playing it, like regardless of what the graphics look like. You just
If I go to a party and someone has it like thrown up, I'll play with it for a while and like really hope that they don't know the Odd Job secret.
Yeah, man. So you got Nintendo 64, you got Dreamcast, you
Dreamcast,
got,
Sega.
Sega. All those games came out like I think early 90s, so we were just about the age where we got to start playing with those. Like they were the hand-me-downs kind of, but we grew up on that because we got the hand-me-downs.
Always.
I never played. Well, I never had a Sega or a Dreamcast. I always thought Dreamcast was a myth because people were like, I got a Dreamcast, and I'm like,
we had one.
What is
how's everybody dreaming that? Like, I never had a Dreamcast.
Yeah, we had one, but I barely ever played that.
You broke it, didn't you?
Yeah, and I did break it.
I think Dreamcast just peaked in on its own and then just like, all right, guys, made this console. We rivaled Sega and all them. Let's head out. Back to how we did it because I've never heard them make another thing sense.
What about, speaking of Johnny Bravo, what about cartoons? Your favorite 90s cartoons?
Looney Tunes.
Looney Tunes was
probably
the jam, dude. I used to get up every single morning and watch Looney Tunes all the time. But you know what? It wasn't super popular.
But me and Louie were more
like kids our age.
I think me and Louie mostly Fox Kids.
Yeah,
that's what we were more into, like the X-Men. And
you sound like Fox Kids, you liberals.
But like, I don't think too many people even knew about that. It was like one of the very few times when people ever mentioned Saturday morning cartoons, they were talking about Fox Kids.
Yeah.
It was like you would turn on what
Power
is now
Rangers.
just Fox
You tell me you watch
News,
Power
of
Rangers.
course.
Yeah, of course.
It would start at like 6 and end at either 12 or 1 and just show you a handful of like the coolest cartoon shows that you never found on Nickelodeon, Disney, or Cartoon Network at the time. I think that was actually the first time I started watching Gargoyles was on Fox Kids.
It was Fox Kids, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a...
Fox Kids.
Whoa.
Fox.
Fox.
I'm talking
Wait.
about kids getting sprayed with goo. I'm talking about
Fox Kids.
Fox Kids.
The best network to watch
This is going to be
for kids.
really bad if somebody plays it in the wrong context. You know?
We
if they like
talking-
jump in last, you know, what's going on here?
I feel like 90s was more of like shows had so much more hype to it. They'd be like, next time, this Saturday at this time, who knows who's gonna win? Nowadays, it's just
Well, it's
kind
the
of
same
like,
thing
yeah,
with-
you know.
Yeah, I feel
that
like
was
in
wrestling.
I feel like in '90s cartoons, whoever was like, I guess the over voice for these commercials were like screaming, "Kids, kids!"
They're like, if we scream loud enough, they'll buy it.
They really
Slime,
wanted to push
slime,
that product.
slime.
They really want to push that product right down their throat, those kids.
You can eat it. You can swim in it. Kids.
That's another weird thing is like the slime from Nickelodeon. I had a weird urge to taste it as a kid because like whenever I would
And
see,
that's
I bet you
why
did.
cancer is so much more
bet you
prevalent.
did.
but like
nowadays.
whenever you see like the show, they would like slime like the celebrities, and they would always be like, ah. It would get in your mouth, and you're like, oh, doesn't that taste disgusting? And then you see them just like,
Yeah,
and I
they'll
was
walk.
like, wait, what? Is it good? Like,
Yeah, they'll walk around and be like, "Oh, slime."
15 years from now, have you or one of your loved ones ingested slime? You may be entitled to some compensation.
You're in your 80s and you're like,
And they see
"I
a picture of Louie just like in a wheelchair, like all messed up.
Mike's sitting right next to him. He
Yeah.
used to be normal until he got
Remember that? Was that in the 90s or
yeah,
2000?
the drug cartoon.
The drug-
commercials.
yeah, the drug
Oh my
commercial.
God.
She can't hear you.
She That's what she looked like.
I don't like you when you're high anymore. You can talk this whole time.
The dog.
I know, right?
Oh
What
my
the
God,
heck?
those were trippy, man. I mean, they really tried to push dare on you guys to like not do drugs. And
Well-
look at how Gabe turned out.
Yeah, look at-
you know what
Don't do drugs.
show that a lot of people I feel like forgot, but it had everyone's first childhood crush? Boy Meets World.
Topanga.
Topanga.
Yeah,
Topanga.
Topanga.
I never watched it.
No.
You would have
I
loved
was
it.
never a fan.
It was
dare
no,
you.
well, the Pink Ranger
The laugh
was
track.
everybody's
Pink Ranger,
crush. The
Emily.
Pink Ranger.
Oh yeah, I was saying Pink Ranger. I'm all about it.
I actually preferred the yellow.
You.
Well,
every
she's not
single
around no
time.
more.
The Asian girls were cuter to me.
No, they weren't.
Oh my
You're just
God,
saying
Louis.
that.
No,
just
seriously.
Take
You're
it back.
saying
Everybody loves a Pink Ranger. Louis likes to be the opposite, as we've further
You know she
discussed in
died?
other episodes.
Yeah,
pretty
I
sad.
heard about like the
She
really
passed.
sad-
Yeah.
Yeah,
God rest her soul.
unfortunately.
Rest in peace.
But we still like the Pink Ranger better, right? Are we all agreeing on that?
Yeah, we're all
Okay.
agreeing on that. Okay, talking about 90s foods. Like, what is your favorite 90s foods?
I don't even know. What's considered a
squeezy
90s
ketchup.
food?
Dude.
That's all I can remember is
The
like
green,
just
the
different colored
green and
ketchup.
purple
Green
ketchup.
ketchup. Oh my goodness.
green-
You
the
were
green.
you were bougie if you had the green ketchup.
Oreo O's. The long forgotten cereal rivalry of Cookie
I mean, it's the
Crisp.
same thing.
They're
Just
still
throw cookies
prevalent.
into a bowl of
Yeah.
milk. It's the same
You can
thing.
get them, but they literally only make them in Japan, and you have to order them online, and it's all in like Japanese now and everything. You can't find them in like English anymore. You can't just go to like
Adios.
you can't just go to Publix and see it on the shelves anymore.
When you guys were in elementary school, did they ever have like they had the Mexican pizzas? They had
Grody.
What did you say?
Grody.
No,
Look,
those
you
are
didn't-
so
no,
good,
they were
dude.
great.
They were
guys
totally
are
not
out of
Mexican
those are
pizzas, but they were
awesome,
Yeah,
dude.
no,
You
they
must
weren't
be-
Mexican.
You
pizzas
must
at
be
all.
licking assholes
No, oh, remember the
for lunch and then eating that and saying, "Hey, this tastes really good."
It is
There's no way
delicious.
that tastes
Great.
good. Ugh. Like the little meatballs were like
Okay, then what did you
weird
like?
and
What did you
spicy.
like in elementary school?
Don't
then?
judge me. The cheese taquitos. That was just little.
Oh,
taquitos
that
were
was-
I was
cheese.
literally just about
That
to
was
mention
even
that.
more
Dude, those are-
cheap
those were
than the
amazing.
Mexican. Those were even more cheap than the Mexican pizzas. Like
They
just
were
took,
cheap, but they
took the
tasted
sliced
good.
cheese, threw it in a tortilla, and like there you
I
go.
was a hefty boy, so I used to stack one Mexican
you were.
pizza on top of another Mexican pizza and have a Mexican pizza sandwich.
See, I was really nice to like the lunch ladies. So whenever they would have like the
was that
really
guy?
crappy
Yeah, he
little
would- he
cheese
would
roll
be.
things, I would be like, can I get 5 instead of like 2? And they're like, yeah. I'll let the little like cashier lady at the end like.
Even
know
as
that
a
it's
kid,
okay,
you're
just have
heckling
5.
people for free stuff.
That was nice, and of course you get nice things.
No wonder
We-
you were
we used
300 pounds in 8th grade.
258.
That's a big kid.
Remember the juice packets? They're like the little the plastic juice.
The
Oh,
bags
yeah.
of
The bag
juice.
ones, yeah.
Yes.
Rip the corner off
I
and-
used to rip the corner off and squeeze them down, or I used to squeeze them till they made a bubble, and I would walk to the table and I'd pop them in front of everybody.
Well, see, I went to
Suck it dry.
I got
Miles.
suspended.
You suck it dry.
But you knew you were in the poor
Candies.
school if you had the bag milk.
Yes.
Bags
Yeah.
of milk. I had
Oh,
never,
I
I
didn't
had
even
never
really
had
had
bag
that.
milk.
Yeah, sometimes they would
I
have bag
remember when I
milk.
was in elementary school with him. He's like, Miles. He's like, I'm the mom. I'm the dad. He takes 2 bags. He's like, love me. He's squeezing everyone. He got in trouble, and I'm like, well, now I'm
Yeah,
by myself.
yeah.
Now I look like a loser at lunch because nobody's with me.
Yeah, well, nobody was normally with him, but
No.
you know.
Yeah.
Oh, the candies. 90s candies. Baby bottle pop.
Oh, no.
Baby bottle pop. First you suck it, you lick it, you suck it and suck it.
I don't think that's how.
That's the
went.
lyrics.
That's a long
doubt
forgotten treasure that after hearing you sing that, I really hope that it stayed forgotten until.
That's the lyrics.
It's
I'm
his
telling you,
memory
lyrics. Look it up.
replacing
I
it.
think it started with the lyrics, but then you went way
No.
off
The
tangent.
Wonder Ball
I'm about
was my-
90% sure
The
I'm
Wonder
right.
Ball was my favorite candy. It was
Wonder-
all chocolate.
Those have
and
had to
yeah.
come back.
Yeah, they're still around.
They're
You can
clearly
still
not
find
as good as they used to be, though. But they had to come back.
What
It's
else? What
chocolate
else
and
was a
it's
good
tart.
candy in the 90s?
I don't know.
Did it have any on there?
Not that I've seen.
And I know I'm gonna
Oh,
be
ring pops.
ring pop.
Ring
Did
pop-
they
yeah,
start
ring
pretty
pops.
good?
Dude,
Those
I
are
used to
pretty
be
big.
a don just walking out with 5 ring
He looked like
pops, showing all
Thanos.
the kids off, just looking like
No,
Thanos. Yeah.
No, it's not candy. These are real gems. My parents are just that
My
rich.
favorite thing was the Lunchables, the mega Lunchables, where they actually put soda, like a soda can,
Oh, I
and a
remember
Crunch
those.
bar, and like pizza and that. Now it's like all fruit juice and like. Ugh.
We weren't as privileged as you. I had to get
Healthy.
sandwiches made for me. I couldn't afford lunch
You had the great value.
Lunchables. I had the great,
the great value
sandwich.
meats.
I didn't have
It's the
anything.
same thing with the cereals.
Yeah, Gabe got to eat air, just like our sponsor today,
It was
Air. By the
free.
way, have you guys liked, comment, and subscribe? Because you should really do that. It helps us out. I'm just saying.
And you can get some free air while you're at it.
Free
Yeah.
air.
If you don't, Air won't sponsor you.
Air. Have you heard of it?
Air. Maybe
Let's
it's
be
free.
honest though, it's not a real thing.
What?
Air.
Don't let's. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
If
when
you
I-
wanna
Have
get-
you seen it?
Yes, I have.
Yes, I have.
If you want to get into conspiracy theories, we'll have another whole episode about that.
Air.
Air.
I mean,
Invented
he
in
has
the
a point.
90s.
Have you
Maybe.
seen Wind?
What else do we got on here? We got-
SpongeBob actually started off in the 90s.
no way.
Yeah.
Of course.
I still remember the first
Can you
official
do the
episode.
SpongeBob? Who can do the SpongeBob laugh?
No.
Ah!
No.
Without help from your hand.
You know what? I
Without
can't.
help from-
That's how he does it.
Try it without your hand.
You could do Squidward.
I can't do the laugh, but I could probably complain like him. You're obnoxious, SpongeBob.
I don't
The
know
Magic
if that
School
good.
Bus was big in the
my
90s.
goodness. What was her name? The
Miss
teacher.
Miss
Frizzle.
Liz?
Miss
Frizzle.
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 Mrs. Frizzle. What a
Mrs.
G.
Frizzle.
Can
You
we
know
all
that-
agree that Mrs. Frizzle was
A babe?
a homosexual?
What?
Oh, was she gay?
Was
I
she?
think she
That
was.
went the other way. What do you mean?
Yeah, that went the other way.
She was. She put off that vibe. I don't know.
She
I
put
could
off
see
vibe?
that as like the cool hippie lesbian teacher.
Yeah,
I could totally
exactly,
see her.
yeah.
doing
You knew
that.
what a lesbian
cool
was at your age at that
lesbian
time.
I think
Yeah.
I did. I think I was getting the
You were,
gist.
you were looking at Miss Frizzle going, she looks like a muffin eater.
It's the hidden episode
How
of the
old
Magic.
was I must have been like what, 7 or 8. I thought that. Yeah.
She looks like she eats some muffins.
Yeah. I told my mom.
It's
I
the,
told my mom.
I said she might be a carpet muncher. I think so.
it's the hidden episode of the Magic School Bus where she's like, and here's my wife, Tabitha. And the kids are like, wait,
There
what?
was an
Since
episode
it's
where
in
they
the
were with
90s,
fish
all the
and there
kids
were
are
the
like-
eggs and the fish came and just dropped its sperm all over them. They're like, oh, what's going on? We're being fertilized.
That happened?
That happened,
No,
yeah.
it didn't.
Yes, it did. Look up the episode. Yeah.
In the 90s, you can get away with anything.
Anything.
The kids got jizzed on in that episode?
Yeah, they're all little eggs. Yeah.
I don't want to go to school
episode-
anymore.
Oh my goodness. We got to find that episode.
Wow.
Remember those multicolored windbreakers?
Yeah,
They used
man,
to
that
have
was-
like multicolor
that
was a thing.
Why was that a
big.
thing?
That was a
Ugliest-
fit.
that
I mean,
was
that was
the
dope,
ugliest
man. I would
thing
love
ever.
to dress like a 90s again. That'd be so cool.
You know
Well,
what the
like-
sad thing is though? Those windbreakers were
Not
so
even mine.
flammable. So God forbid you ever got stuck in a fire. Those things would just shrivel around you into a cocoon. And you're like,
I like the 90s style. I wish we could bring some of it back, you know?
you
I
had
mean,
me
some-
at the
What
first part
about
of
it? What about it specifically?
I like
Fanny
the
packs.
windbreakers.
That's it.
Just
the
that's
big
it.
jeans, with the
Really?
cuffs, and then you
I'm
wear
sorry,
the,
but I don't know about you guys, but me and my sister Tony were really big into rollerblading when we were actually a kid.
rollerblading.
Rollerblading,
Oh,
not
I
roller skating like with the 4 wheels, but rollerblading when it had like 6 or 8 wheels like in a straight row.
I don't think that's a '90s thing.
I think it
Yeah.
was like
It was-
peaked in the 90s. Rollerblading, not skating. Skating like probably peaked in like the 70s.
that probably would have been when the movies came out, like for Disney Channel. So it probably got super.
Everybody was
was-
rollerblading. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. What was that Disney movie with the rollerblading
I know.
tournament?
I'm thinking exactly.
Yeah, you know, I know what
you're-
and
You
it
know
was
what
like,
that
yeah, we
movie
work
is?
for a car wash and everything, and we need to win this money to support our car wash. And like they had like a whole rollerblading tournament. Me and my sister watched it, and we're like, I want to be that cool.
I don't know about that. A big thing was mood rings. Do you remember? Like,
I actually totally forgot about those.
Yeah.
You remember when you used to go to the book fair and they would have the mood rings
Oh,
there, or the
man.
book fair
I
in general?
never,
Do you
I
guys
never,
remember book fairs?
I never
Yeah.
got
Book fairs made me
money for
depressed.
book fair.
Yeah, exactly.
I was
never was
poor.
able
Oh
to
yeah,
get
no, I
anything.
used to go in and steal stuff, but like you still went in there and I got
Used
to
to
check
go
it
in
out.
there.
See,
kids
I
were
got
getting
even
stuff.
worse. My parents would be like, "Here's $30. You can only get things for your
30
relatives." And I was like, "What? What about me?" And she was like, "No, just gifts for your relatives." And I was like, "Wait, what?"
Lunchables, $30 for book fairs. You privileged,
What?
privileged people.
I was lucky if I got that. It was either that or a bag with air in it.
No, you want to know?
Brought to you by Air.
You want to know how sadly privileged I was back in like my elementary school in the 90s?
Please tell me.
We had a soft serve ice cream that was literally like an actual dispenser, and you
Didn't
can
we have
tower
that?
the ice cream as tall as you want, and it was like $1.
That's messed up.
And like I used to have this one lunch lady named Miss Jackson, and she loved me so much.
Dude,
and
what's up with you and lunch
that's all,
ladies?
yeah.
Because
You're a lunch
listen,
lady.
if you're
If
nice,
you're
they
a
give
lunch
you
lady,
free
comment
food.
below.
You just give
We'll take
off
you out
that
on a
vibe.
date.
That's it. Be nice, free food. It's simple as that. Always be nice to your lunch ladies, I swear. Because like I would pay like $2 for my lunch. I would go and I would sit down at my table and I would just hear Mr. Delgado, and I would turn around and it's Miss
Yeah.
Jackson, the lunch
Yeah.
lady, with a
Miss
soft serve
Jackson.
ice cream cone and 2 chocolate chip cookies for my little fat self. And she'd be like, "Here you go, baby." I'm like, "Oh
Did she
my
touch?
god,
Did she
I
touch
love
your
you."
shoulder or the top of your head?
Where did Miss Jackson touch you?
Where did she touch you?
Listen, the thing she did with that ice cream cone.
Oh my god, that is disgusting. And
I miss
where
you,
can
Miss
I find
Jackson.
this teacher?
I'm sorry,
Where-
Miss
where-
Jackson. Ooh, ice cream's too real.
Never. Will.
Did that come out in the 90s too, I think?
That was oh, damn,
Was
I
that
can't
early
believe I'm
2000s
blanking
or
on
90s?
that.
We got to start fact checking things because I can't.
Whatever. We don't read.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
I can barely read as it is.
I don't know. I think the '90s was awesome. Although we were born like I was '93. You were what?
92.
92.
92.
Okay, so we weren't really like born in the '80s and grew up in the '90s, but we were born in the '90s and grew up in the early 2000s. But we had such influence from the '90s that kind of like made us who we are, and I feel like I really appreciated the cartoons, the culture.
A really
vibes.
big thing they pushed was safe sex. Now look at us eating each other's buttholes and stuff.
Hey, man.
Didn't do that
get?
too well, did you?
Nope.
Yeah, well, I mean, what was
They
the
were
point?
shoving all those anti-drug commercials in our face.
And
Now look at us now.
now look at us. Everything's
Look,
legal.
Everything is legal.
But you
feel
know what
like-
they say? You do it once in a while. It's not that bad for you.
Like,
That's
I
a
don't know
lie.
if you guys
That's a
really
lie.
remember,
That's
but
not
like
how it works.
the videos that they used to make us watch in school to like not talk to strangers and stuff like that were totally like outside of the
Oh yeah,
box.
yeah.
It would be like some guy literally rolling up in a van, and he would literally look like the worst, disgusting person. He's like, "Hey, how's it going? Like, your dad told me to pick you up," and they would just be like, "Yellow elephant." And he's like, "I don't know what that means." And she's like, "Then you don't know the password." And you
Yeah,
start
that-
like running
yeah,
away.
that was
Like,
the-
Passwords.
The guy was always in a dark coat
Yeah,
of a
trench
hoodie.
coat
Like
and a
that
hat.
was the criminal back
yeah,
in the 90s.
who do you see walking around in a dark coat?
No, and now I say hi to everybody. I talk to strangers. I'm that guy that talks to people.
I'm gonna encourage.
didn't.
I'm gonna encourage my kids to talk to strangers. I think it builds character.
If
Listen,
not,
I
I'm gonna
talk
tell them
to
to stop
strangers and I
talking
got
to me
free
and
ice
talk to
cream.
strangers.
Yeah.
Why don't you go talk to that guy over there? Leave me alone. Don't bother me.
Exactly.
So, can we all agree '90s?
Best year.
Best year.
Anything after 99 kind of became downhill.
I can also agree that early 2000s is good, but '90s.
Early 2000s was good.
It's peaking.
Like I had its stuff. We'll talk about a 2000 episode
Yeah,
later,
we should do
but
a 2000s episode. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up, guys. So make sure you go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Leave some things down below. We'll answer them.
Talk about your time in the 90s.
tell us.
Yeah. What about your time in the '90s? What did you enjoy the most?
What was your favorite thing about the night?
What did you hate the most? We never talked about anything we hated.
We
in the
should do
90s.
a whole episode
Swoosh.
about that.
Swoosh, the medicine stuff they gave, the dental stuff.
What
in the
happened to
school.
that? They were poisoning us.
They
Weren't
were.
they? What was that all about?
It was. I was talking to my dentist the other day,
It
and they said
tasted
it's
like-
just. I guess it's like mouthwash for kids.
It was like, here you go, you disgusting little
No.
kids. We know you're not doing it right at home.
They definitely gave us some type of fluoride. They made half of us. We can't say that on. Sorry.
Sorry.
We're gonna bleep that. We're gonna bleep it.
We'll bleep that.
Okay.
Uh,
Well,
okay.
have a good one, guys. See you later.
Have a good one.